just a few moments, we will hear from the most powerful black man in America today. Everybody, I don't think you heard me.
Hey, yo.
The most powerful black man in the world.
All right, what's up, world? Welcome back. Thanks for watching. So this is episode 4, I think, of my quarantine series. So you guys may have noticed I've been kind of getting a little bit more aggressive in these ones because, hey, it's the COVID, man. I got to separate myself from the pack. You know, give y'all something different than what everybody else is doing. So in line with that, this is going to be my Scotch episode, Scotch whiskey episode. And I want to kind of get here first because people watch my videos and they copy me. So I want to make sure I put a stamp on here first so that you go back and look at the timestamp, you'll know that I'm the first person that's really mixing whiskey with the watches. All right, let's get into it. So check this out. So one of the things that I don't like about Scotch is how weak it is. In addition to watches, I also know a lot about whiskey because it's a hobby of mine. Not to get wasted or anything, but more the idea of savoring the taste. You know, your taste change as you get older. I used to like Coke, and then I used to like, I don't know, certain beers and microbrews. But, you know, positive energy activates constant elevation is what I learned a long time ago. You got to keep moving forward. You got to be advanced and evolving. So according to the laws for Scotch, it can't be distilled to any more than around 95% alcohol. But it usually goes into the barrel between 60 and 70% ABV. That's probably like around 140 proof. It needs to age for a minimum of 3 years. As this Scotch is sitting in the barrel for 3 years aging, it's taking more water into it. So something that started off at about maybe 130 proof in the barrel, after 3 years, when they take it out, it might be sitting at about, let's just say 110 proof. Now, once this thing is over aging, they got to put it in a bottle. The laws for Scotch say that they have to have at least 40% ABV when it goes in the bottle. That's 80 proof. So you started off going to barrel at about, let's say 130 proof. Maybe when it's done aging, it's at about 120 proof. And they're going to put it in the bottle at around 80 proof. So that's kind of the problem that I have with that, because what I learned is that there's no really secret to how do they get it from 120 proof or even 100 down to 80. I mean, simply, they just add water to it, you know? So, I mean, I have a big problem with that because, number one, I remember it used to be that watering down whiskey would, you know, get you killed or something. Like, you just didn't do it. I don't know where y'all from, but in America, like, watering down a person's whiskey was, like, one of the quickest ways to go out of business. So, wrapping this up, one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Scotch is just because it's watered down. I mean, all these Scotches you guys love, Macallan, Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, whatever, pick up the label, man. Look at the label. When you look at the label, you're going to notice that pretty much all of them are 40% ABV. That means it came out the barrel, and to maximize their profit, they added water into it so they can make a little bit more money. And I'm just not really with that. I mean, now if you go into the Glenmorangie line, they have a couple that are like 86%. And I saw one that was around 90. That's unusual, but come on, man, they're just too weak. So the second part of that is that these things are expensive. Now, I'm in the US. In the US, to get like a decent bottle of Scotch, you're talking about $60, which, considering the superiority of American whiskey, like, why would I pay $60 for a 40% ABV when I can pay $30 and get something that's, you know, 100 proof, 50% ABV? I just don't get it. So anyway, that's my take. I'm expecting only get a lot of hate on this one because, you know, on YouTube, people act like you're supposed to agree with everyone else. If you guys love Scotch, that's great, but just know when you're drinking these Scotches and stuff and you're spending all this money, especially on some of the more expensive ones, $150 a bottle, you're basically paying for watered down whiskey, which is good because, I mean, it kind of lets you think that you're doing something, but you're really not, especially if you want to put it on the rocks. I'm like, wow, you're pretty much drinking 60% water Now you want to add more water to it by adding ice to it? I'm just like, come on, man. You know, time to man up. You got to grow up. If you can't drink whiskey neat, maybe you should just stick with like beers or something, right? That's just my take. Let me know what you think. I know this is going to be highly controversial, but that's just my take. I'm thinking about maybe next week coming back and I'll talk to y'all a little bit about whiskey, but everything is going good. Still winning. It's still award season. I'm the best that's out here doing it. One of the best. And just know, I'm always trying to give you something different. Nobody can copy this style. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.